Okay, onwards to the division problems. So, our first question we have is 3i over 5 minus 2i. So going back to the rationalizing the part, all you rationalize is the denominator of a fraction, and all you rationalize is what? The sign of the imaginary number. So that explains why 5 minus 2i is 5 plus 2i. And you guys remember how in math you typically have to multiply the top by the bottom? Well, that's why we have 5 plus 2i on the top and bottom. So you multiply that straight across, and you get 15i plus 6i squared by multiplying 3i by 5 and 3i by 2i. And so you do the same for the bottom. You do 25 by 5 times 5. You get 10i by 2i plus times 5. Negative 2i by 5 is negative 10i. And you do negative 2i plus 2i is going to give you negative 4i if you multiply those two. So these cancel out because it's a positive and negative. And as stated before in the multiplication version, you can't leave it as I squared. So you substitute a negative 1. And when you substitute the negative 1 on top, you get negative 6 plus 15i. And for the bottom, you get 25 plus 4. So you add the like terms and you get 29. When you end up with negative 6 over 29 plus 15i over 29. You're probably wondering why I didn't leave it like this. Well, you could leave it like this, but I prefer to leave it like this. Remember, you always have to have your answer in a plus bi form. So you do the same for 2, 3, and 4. Rationalize the denominator. So from 4i, you get negative 4i, multiply on top of button. You get to you 20i plus 12i squared. And then on the bottom, you get negative 16 times I squared. Can't leave it like that, so you multiply a negative 1, hence why we have a 16 here, that's positive. And you do the same for this, and you get a negative 12. And then you switch it around so it can be an a plus bi form to get negative 12 over 16 plus 20i over 16. Wait, can we leave our answer like this? No. You can simplify the fraction. So you can simplify it by dividing this by 4, since they share 4 in common. You get negative 3 over 4 and plus 5i over 4. For this, rationalize the denominator, and you times that by 2i on the top and bottom. You get 2i on top for your numerator, but negative 4i squared as your denominator. Substitute I squared with a negative 1 to get positive 4. And then you divide these by 2 since they both share 2, giving you 1 over 2i, which can be written as I over 2 as well. Lastly, rationalize the denominator. 10 minus 5i on numerator and denominator. Multiply them together to get 100 and negative 50i. Multiply these to get 100 minus 50i plus 50i minus 25i squared. These cancel out since it's a negative plus a positive and they both share 50i. And you're left with 100 plus 25 because you put the negative 1 as a substitute for the I squared. You add those together and you get 125. So you can split up this to give you 100 over 25 minus 50i over 125. And so you simplify that to get 4 over 5 minus 2i over 5. And if you'd like to see this in a fraction form, I will write it for you right here. 100 over 125 minus 50i over 125. And that simplifies down to give you this. I hope y'all learned a lot from this, and I wish you luck on your self-assessment. Bye!